Two, one. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Coffee Time Podcast. As always, we bring you that hot podcast news every Thursday. He's got his coffee right there. What are you drinking over there, homie?
I'm drinking some let's see if I can actually get it to focus. Some Rev. Let's see if it'll focus. Let's see. Boom, there it is. Some Rev Turbocharge. Still not sponsored by any coffee, and we're called Coffee Time, but whatever.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity for anyone that wants to sponsor us.
Yeah. What's up, Starbucks? Or, Coffee Bean, or whoever you want to be. You could be mentioned in this cast.
What is it? Coffee Mate too? Is that a thing? I thought
I
that
don't
was like
know.
a thing. Hmm.
For being a Coffee Time podcast, I don't know shit about coffee. I just drink the damn
We
stuff.
both we both don't see. I don't know if we've said it multiple times what coffee time really is, but I'll break it down right fast for the audience. Okay, so coffee time is not about coffee. What kind of? We don't really care if it's like nitro pressed or double espresso or that crazy cool things that you see what like coffee art or anything like that. It's just for me and for some black coffee or coffee with cream, boat coffee because we're both in the Navy. Well, I was in the Navy. He still currently is. We used to for a decompression, like a therapy session after a long, stressful day of flight operations. It would be Bruce, Avalos, or Justin. Sorry, buddy. I keep calling you by your last name.
I know
I'm still in,
shit.
I'm still like whipped into it. This girl named Pero, and then this guy Cameron, and we would all go down to the mess decks the cafeteria, go to Chucky's, which is the off-brand Starbucks on the boat, grab a cup of coffee, and we'll usually make Monica pay for it because she was rolling rolling in money, and then we would just go down there and we would just fire off what's going on today, what's the new. It was kind of was like a gossip group, honestly.
Yeah, we were
But
just kind of like talking shit
yeah,
and talking about what's going on.
yeah, and then it turned into like a therapy session where it was like, hey man, we need our coffee time tonight. I'm fucking stressed out and everything like that. So it kind of was like, hey, what's the news of the day type thing. So that's how Hot Podcast News was formed. And then we had some fuck it days too, and that's why like it's just Monday. That's why that was formed.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that's the story of coffee time. So don't come here thinking that we're gonna tell you about some ancient coffee bean that tastes so good. No, it's usually just
Like
black
tell
coffee.
you, hey, this is the type of coffee you should drink. Like this is the difference between cold press and whatever the hell it's called. I
Yeah,
don't even.
nitro, cold press, whatever. We don't know. Okay, that's not what coffee time's about. It's
We just
about
drink this shit. You make it for us, and we'll drink it.
yeah, it's an opinion piece about hot podcast news and then some silly stuff on Mondays. All
Hmm.
right, let's get to it, man. What are we talking
Yeah.
about today?
So, of course, everything in the news right now is revolving around President Donald Trump and his wife, Melania, getting diagnosed with COVID. They actually got diagnosed sometime last week. I believe they've already left the hospital from the last update I was
Yeah,
given.
they have.
Yeah, so so far, everything went well with it. They had gotten diagnosed with it and then got the treatment and everything like that. And even while he was in the hospital, he was still keeping up to date, releasing videos saying, hey, right now we're going through this. This is the stuff that we've been receiving. The staff has been amazing, yada yada. And so that's what's been happening in the news lately. And it's it's kind of a pros and cons thing that has happened because of it. Because one, it's gonna hurt his campaign a little bit because a lot of the stuff it wasn't necessarily saying that COVID wasn't a huge issue because it was. Of course, he did take it seriously, but the fact that he hasn't really been seen like wearing the mask all the time like you would see Biden or anyone else on the Democratic side. They were always wearing masks, and he rarely wasn't unless he was within a certain amount of feet of a person. Then he would put it on. So a lot of people are like, oh, now you want to take it seriously, yada yada, this and that. So it's hurting him in that instance. But also he's starting to get the sympathy thing too, because it's like, okay, well, he's human too. He's dealing with what we've been dealing with and has overcome it. So, reading the comments and stuff like that on people like hoping he dies and this and that, I'm just like, oh my God. I know you mentioned that in the last podcast where
Hmm.
you did a solo one and how people can be, that. intolerant and just dumb to, want to do that just because you don't agree with a person's opinions or political stances. Like, yeah.
Well, look, I guess my job on this podcast is to be a skeptical hippo. All right.
Okay.
Um, I don't know, dude. After a very okay, so let me just bring it back to the debate. We talked about this already. We
Hmm.
thought Biden was going to get murdered. Turns out he didn't get murdered. We thought he was going to fumble a lot. He fumbled a little. And all in all, when I looked at that, I am not a supporter of Biden or Trump. So I'm just looking at this as like non-bias.
Hmm.
Trump, you could tell that he was unprepared and he just wanted to throw like shots. And Biden was prepared, but he wasn't prepared for what Trump was going to say. In the end, in my opinion, it made Biden look a little better. Just I'm not saying a lot here too.
Hmm.
He didn't destroy Trump, but Trump you can tell that he was winging a lot of things,
Yeah.
right? And you can tell that Biden was winging a lot of things under the debate. But my general opinion, or like what I saw in that debate, was like, wow, Trump had an opportunity to put the nail in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin, throw the final straw that breaks the camel's back, and he fumbled hard.
Hmm.
2 days later, let's put on the tinfoil hat, okay? Less than 48 hours, actually, he's diagnosed with COVID-19. So I'm looking at a lot of headlines that saying, wow, Trump really fumbled this or Trump fucked this up. Now it turns into like COVID, right?
Hmm.
So does he have COVID? Did he
Yeah,
have COVID?
I've been hearing a lot about that. Like, it's a conspiracy thing. Like, he really wasn't diagnosed, and it was just to take away from the debate and like what people are thinking about.
Dude, it
Because,
makes sense.
in the beginning, like Trump was hitting the points hard, but I think during like the second half of it, like it was just him like defending himself on the first points because he could have easily just let Biden talk and then just say, hey, this is what I've done. This is what you didn't do in your 47 years of being yada yada. Like there was definite ways where he should have stayed on a certain topic and he would have won instantly. But a lot of the debate was him just berating him and interrupting, and it just made him seem because that's how Trump does it because he did that even with Hillary, but it was even more so this time. So, it's just like, okay, we've seen that side of you. Now let's see the other side to where like you're sticking to what you've done and what you want to do and why people should vote for you. Because before it was easy, like, okay, people want to vote for him because he says what we're all thinking. He doesn't filter himself politically. He just says it. Now we've seen that and we just want to see the other side to where it's actually like, hey, stay with your points, say why people should vote for you again, and then go from there. But yeah, I've read that conspiracy theory that he really didn't have it, and if that's the case, then holy crap, like that's just I don't think he would do that,
Bro,
honestly.
is dirty, but is genius. I think he would do it, honestly. Look, look, Trump is a fucking psychopath, but he's a winner. Like that's the thing. I think that's why a lot of people can relate to him because you have a lot of losers in the world. That's just like I
Mhm.
want to be a winner, but they don't want to put up the work, and then our president, his own like how he identifies himself is he's a fucking winner. He's a tyrant.
Yeah.
He has to dominate. So him just slipping on that or fumbling during that debate, and I'm not saying that he did, but how I looked at it, he definitely
Hmm.
Biden looked a little better on the first debate. Hey, I got COVID. Boom. Let's slip this in there. Hey, this is what's gonna happen. So I get COVID. Wait, so I have to say someone else got COVID. Like if I have COVID and my wife doesn't have COVID, it doesn't make sense. Bitch,
Yeah.
you got COVID too. Let me let me grab your pussy, right? so, so this is what happens. They get COVID, go in the hospital, have the best medical care, right? Boom. 2 days
Hmm.
later, or I think it's like 3 days later, return to the White House. He has his shoulders tucked back. He's not walking like this. He's very bold, steadfast. He looks indestructible as a 70
Hmm.
plus old male that just went through COVID. Walks off, has the mask on, turns around for the photo shoot, takes that bitch off, salutes and everything, and then he hits that speech where he's like, "See," and he's like doing this. I'm your leader. I didn't run from this. I fought it and everything like this. That's what
Hmm.
leaders do. And it helped. I think it helped him out a ton.
Yeah, it
Now,
did for sure.
being
Because oh, go ahead.
him acting very like insensitive about how serious the virus is, or COVID-19 is to I think we've had 200 and north of
200,000.
200,000 deaths. Him not acknowledging that will hurt him, but that's just a fraction. I
Yeah,
think this like cuz I really think it's a power move that's just going to pay off completely.
yeah. Because
Because
even during the debate, he was talking about like, because Biden kept throwing that number 200,000. He was like, only one person, and that's where I start to worry. Like, if one person's more than enough, or he said something along the lines like, it's already too many if one or two people already have it. That's too many. So he kind of acknowledges that number a little bit, but not as much as people want him to.
yeah, but I'm just gonna wrap up my statement here
Hmm.
about it is a crazy power play to the people that believe in herd immunity and everything like that, and it's just I think it's if it is true that he faked his COVID, damn, dude, he'll do anything to win.
Yeah.
He will do anything to win, and it's kind of crazy, but I don't know. I got the tinfoil hat on right now because of it, because it's just the timing's so weird, man. Look, life is not a movie. Like the scene just doesn't happen where you just got kidnapped, and then next thing you know, your father's Liam Neeson, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I can find you." You know, it just doesn't happen that way. Timing is so important, and to have like flop debate. Boom. COVID. Oh, what does COVID do? It shows that I'm a leader. I fought this, and this is what we need to do. We need to open up the country again. And I was right the entire time. It's not that bad. Also, there's two more debates that should happen, right?
Hmm.
Are they going to, because he's not out of the woods yet with his COVID diagnosis right now. So are they going to allow him to do the debates, or are they going to
I
be
believe
like
so. I think that,
Zoom
yeah,
styles?
because the last thing I heard is there's going to be a debate. I believe, where was it? He was talking about it on one of his things, like, can't wait to go to this debate and, get back to work and everything, like, hit the ground running and all that stuff. But because if that your theory of him faking it, whatever like that, because I know a lot of people are like, well, it's because he has these medical treatments, he has money, yada yada, and he comes out here saying, I want to make this available to everyone since it worked on me. I got diagnosed. These treatments worked on me. I'm gonna make this to work. It's accessible to everyone. So he's also pushing that as well. Like, hey, these medications that I told you would work are working. You know what I mean?
So with the medications, I was reading some stuff about what he took, and it starts with a D. I can't fucking say it, but I was reading about the drug is it has like a few like crazy like manic um symptoms. Like it can make you feel a little crazy. You
Hmm.
can experience insomnia, and that medication is really only used for severe COVID-19 patients, like where they're on a ventilator already.
Yeah,
So I don't know about starting that way. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, because he's been talking about, a cure is gonna be coming out, this and that. But, like, it's funny that a lot of people still are like, oh, I can't wait for 2020 to be over and, all this stuff. I'm like, dude, like, it continues even though 2020 is over.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
like,
like the people are just like, oh, 2021. How do you know? How do
yeah.
you know? 2020, 2020, we were like, I was posting because I got out of Navy on December 19th. I was like hitting up on the gram like, oh, 2020 is my year, blah 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 blah, making
Hmm.
all these crazy posts, and then blah blah. I got
Yeah.
hit with a fucking bat into the face, and the bat was 2020. So you don't know. 2021 is, I believe, we're gonna be a little over it if we make it through the winter and we don't have a rise of COVID deaths, and it's just more of just like flu-like symptoms. I think
Hmm.
people are gonna be like, "Hey, look, dude, let's fuck this. We're done." They're already done. You know, like when I was in Tennessee, people were wilding out. When we're
Yeah.
in Texas, the great country
Texas.
of Texas, people are wilding out. People are wilding out down here, or in SD, and there's crazy restrictions, but they're just done. They're
Yeah.
done. So I feel like 2021 is probably going to be the same thing as 2020, but we're just going to be insensitive to it because we were just so desensitized from like being
Yeah.
scared of this and being scared of that. But, dude, I think the country is going to be pushed to its ends, like close to the point of no return, but I believe we'll make it after this election. Because
Yeah.
either way it goes, if Trump wins, Black Lives Matter, and I will preface this by saying I am fully support of what Black Lives Matter means and stands for. I do not support the group at all. You guys
Yeah.
really need to do some research. Look, we're fucking idiots on this podcast. We're just doing an opinion piece and we're having a little fun and hoping that someone will learn something and allow themselves to grow, even if you don't agree with us. But you must look into what BLM, the actual organization, does with your money that you donate. I'm not going to tell you because you're probably not going to believe me, but you should look into it.
Yeah, like, oh, they're these fascists that trying to shut us down. They're misogynistic and racist
Yeah,
somehow.
it's just a weird thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't think we're gonna be pushed to the point of no return, but we will be so close after election day.
Yeah.
Because one, if let's just say if Trump, I don't think Trump's going to lose, but let's say if he loses, right, dude, people that are winners like that are incredibly like infamous. They're famous for being a sore loser, and it's going to cause a divide in this country. Because, dude, Trump mania, Trump supporters, not even Republican supporters, but Trump supporters
Hmm.
at their wits' end are just fanatics in a way. Like it's a cult. But I could say that
Bro.
well, like the other side has that too. But I'm saying, dude,
Yeah.
Trump is he has a following.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's this guy that's running for mayor here. I'm not gonna say his name because, I don't want to get in trouble or anything like that. But he ran like that Trump caravan that I had gone to. And whenever I went to that one, it was for, us to show, hey, there's other supporters out there. You're not alone. That's the way I took it. But then he wants to do another one because the news didn't cover it. And he's like, we're gonna park in front of there, yada yada. I'm like, wait, why though? Like, you already did the thing to show your support. Like, are you just doing this so you can get coverage for your campaign? Like, is this a selfish endeavor? And it was funny because someone had actually made a comment on like the last caravan that happened, and it was the bikers that usually will lead the caravan. It's the person that's in charge, bikers to lead it, and then everyone else.
Okay.
So apparently he did something to kind of like put them in danger by like crossing an intersection that he wasn't supposed to, and he put like a lot of people in danger. So they're like, I don't think we're gonna participate anytime soon. And he comes back like, no, I'm doing this because fake media this. I'm like, dude, like just own the accident, say that was never your intention, and go from there. But like people were attacking him, like, dude, like stop attacking your own people. Like that's the issue that I have is like stop attacking people. I support Trump. I'm a Republican, but if someone was a Biden supporter, I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna go after them and cuss them out. Like that's just not who I am. And we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard because there's already a light on us, a negative light at that, of what a Trump supporter is. So to be doing that stuff and adding fuel to that fire, it's not beneficial to what we want. So it's just ridiculous. Like whenever like people take it too far and like go to like a place where it's like Biden, Harris, and like spray paint it or light it off. Like it going that fanatic doesn't help your cause for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely just destructive, right? It's just
Hmm.
destructive. All right, so we're 20 minutes in. I think we've bored our audience enough with the Hot Podcast news section. So, what's up, man? Tell me how you've been.
Stressing, homie.
Stressing, yeah.
Yep, yep.
That's fucking life, bro. So, what I
Yeah.
was thinking was, with the just like the reaction thing, we should give ourselves and the audience some homework. So we release these on Thursday, right?
Hmm.
And then they have the entire weekend, which most people are off, so you have no excuse until Monday's not Monday. It's just the breaking down the weekend, right?
Yeah.
The recap of the weekend on Monday. So we should actually challenge them to watch something and then we'll watch the same thing and we will give our review at the end of the Monday episode. It'll be
Oh,
the
okay.
segment right there. So, what do you want to watch or listen to? It can be music, it can be we can try some food, whatever.
So I think it's kind of hard because there's like so much. I know there's a documentary that people have been telling me to look at because of, Black Lives Matter, whatever. It's like 13 or something like that. It's about the amendment and it's supposed to be like about like what it represents or something like that. It's on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called specifically. Let me see if I could actually find it somewhere.
Hmm.
I think it's called 13 if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see here. I'm gonna cut to our still, do some research too. Cue the Jeopardy music. Da, 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 da. Jesus, man, you are horrible.
Yeah, it's called 13th. That's what it's called, 13th.
The
It's
13th
called,
Amendment?
no, it's just called 13th. 13th.
Oh, 13th.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
the 13th or just 13th? Oh, it's just
just 13th,
13th.
and it's on Netflix right now. It's a documentary focusing on the fact of the nation's prisons and disproportionately filled with African Americans.
Huh. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, so
All right. So guys, this is what we're looking at right here. 13th. It was released in 2016. It's an hour
yeah.
and 40 minutes. Social and cultural docs. Okay. Interesting. I don't think I can play the trailer right now because we'll get in trouble.
Copyright.
Yeah, interesting art here where it's supposed, you said this is about African Americans
Yeah,
being imprisoned.
that's what it says. Like focusing on the fact that the nation's prisons are disproportionate filled with African Americans. I'm assuming it has to do with the Emancipation Proclamation and
Huh.
how there's still racism today and stuff like that. I've just been told, hey, you should check this out, yada yada. So this
Wait,
is what it
yeah,
looks
but
like.
the art, like, let's just break. Can you see this art on Netflix? Hold on.
Oh,
I got you, bro. Hold on. I
oh, you
got you.
fancy setup.
I can get all fancy here. Give me a moment. So go screen share your entire screen. Yeah, that's fine.
And then it's nothing but tentacle porn.
Oh God, I don't think I'm into that. All right, can you see yourself?
Yes.
All right, so we'll bring this back up.
Oh yeah, that's it right there.
Boom. Get there. Okay.
Oh
And
wow, that's some dope art actually.
well, okay, so the art, if you guys are just listening to the podcast, switch over to YouTube right now and you can scrub it till about 23 minutes in, and then you'll see what we're looking at. All right. So this is supposed to be about African Americans and the U.S. Prison boom, right? Why
Hmm.
is there not a black guy in chains or in cuffs?
Isn't that a black person? Just a light
No.
skin?
No, no. Look, bro, I'm light skinned, homie. Let me show you a light skin arm. That's a light skin arm. If I can get it to focus, boom. Right? Damn, man, my forearm's looking nice. Okay, anyway, um, that's not a black arm, and like this is interesting. So if you break down this art with the handcuff, you can see that it transfers. Like this is old times into new times.
Yeah.
Huh? Interesting. I just
Yeah,
don't.
like how they're still in chains even today
Yeah, but that's
type deal.
definitely a wide arm. Okay. So, all right. So that's gonna be our homework. We gotta watch
Yeah,
that.
watch that and take some notes and talk about what we think about it.
Boom. Let me get back to your face. Where's
Stiff Socks
where's
podcast.
where's your face? Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Boom. All right. And you're back on screen. Yeah. Okay. So let me get the camera first. Finish this coffee right quick. All right, we'll wrap it up with this, with a little homework assignment, guys. You don't have to write us a fucking essay. Just write us a brief description of what you thought about the 13th, and how can you apply anything that you learned or it made you feel. Put it in there. You can DM us on what is it, Coffee Time Cast at Instagram, or I would like an email from what is it, KJ Podcast?
kjpodcast@gmail.com.
We'll put it in the description below, okay? But yeah, let's wrap things up, Justin. So, your almighty leader got COVID. He beat COVID. Sounds like it's a conspiracy theory, but what do you think? What do you rate
I
this
mean,
theory? From 1 to like not truthful at all to 10, it's like definitely true.
I'm gonna give it a fair like 4
A
because
4?
I've
Okay.
never fallen into conspiracy theories. I think he did have like maybe a mild form to where he did have the fever and stuff like that. Because I know he had to be put on oxygen. Oh, bro, that means our time's up,
Yeah,
homie.
it's getting there.
Our time's up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think if he did have it, I'm glad he's doing a lot better. I'm glad he's been fighting it and keeping us updated with everything, and hopefully seeing this gives people hope like, hey, if he can beat it, then these people can beat it now that they have the way to. Because the 200,000 deaths was whenever like everything was in a panic and no one knew what was going on. Now that we kind of have a steady hold on it, hopefully we'll start seeing those like no more deaths. Like we've been seeing cases, but not really deaths involved with it. Like they've been, going through with it and getting through it. So hopefully it's like kind of a hopeful thing to some people.
Huh. Okay. Well, I'm gonna rate this conspiracy theory, if it is one. You're saying it's a 40% chance that it's true. That's pretty high. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
60, bro. Because the
Ooh.
timing's just iffy. The timing's iffy.
Yeah, the
It's
time it
weird.
does. It's a little sketchy, but we'll
So
see.
I would say like if it wasn't like time, so like if we were writing a play or a movie, I would be like, probably 30%, whatever. I'll probably do it to
Mhm.
gain some votes or anything like that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna rate it like a 60, 60% chance that he lied about COVID and he's being the great leader he is. I mean, like if I could defeat this, you can defeat this as well. Hey, do you got any shout outs? Shout outs for this week's podcast? Anything that you want to highlight?
Oh shit. Like our gaming channel? Is that what you
Oh
talking
yeah,
about,
you can
homie?
shout that out.
Shit. Our gaming channel? What? Yeah, go check that out. You can see us be little bitches to horror movie or horror games. That's always fun.
Yep. So yeah, if you didn't know, we have a gaming channel, Coffee Time Gaming. We're kind of like okay. So I didn't want to talk about this until well, it's fine. We don't have at Coffee Time the correct equipment for the quality that we want, and it's a ton of fucking money, and I don't want to spend that fucking money because I spent enough money for the quality of the podcast, the switcher, and everything like that. So I think we just gotta be okay with being okay, you know.
Yeah.
So
At least until we get more subs on that, because I think me and you are the only ones.
probably, but uh, since you shouted out the gaming channel, if you don't have time to, if you made it to the end of this podcast, by the way, so I'm gonna shout out our clips channel as well. If you don't have time to listen or review the entire podcast, we have a clips channel that highlights like the bangers out of the podcast. Like, well, everything we say or I say should be a clip or whatever. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
you have clips like they're 30 seconds to 1 minute. Some are 5 minutes long, and we just clip them out and we just put them on our clips channel, so you can have some more coffee time in your life from that and everything like that. Do I have any other shout outs? Oh, I want to shout out my boy Nick Hooper. He's being a hoe because he won't do the podcast, but we're gonna get him on this podcast before he goes to Japan and everything like that. But that's it for me. Anything else, Justin?
No, just make sure y'all check us out on all platforms. We got Google Podcasts. We got Apple now, right? We got that
Yeah,
Apple?
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
We're on everything.
it's Amazon, everything like that. Wherever you get your podcasting news, go check us out. Alpha Time. Till then, you are what you listen to.
You are what you listen to. I like it. You finally said it. But
Yeah.
if Spotify keeps fucking up with Joe Rogan, man, we might leave Spotify. Just saying. Because if you're going to try to censor the largest podcaster there is, there's no hope for us, Justin.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, like my boy just said, you are what you listen to, and that was Coffee Time Podcast. That's hot podcast news coming to you every Thursday. Monday, we're going to have a little fun. Do your fucking homework. All right, watch the 13th, write an opinion piece on it, and at the end of our Monday show, we're going to give you our opinion on it. All right, bye. Bye bye.